And a special mention to Marina Negrecia, who is not on that list, who should have been on that list, who I just now realize is not on the list. However, she just donated. She's the first contributor of the night with the $10. And forgive me, Marina, I'm not sure the currency note there. Forgive my American ignorance. I should know that, but thank you for the $10 donation over to the channel and for the contribution and support, not only from Marina, but from you listening wherever you are. Shout out to all of our workers, graveyard shift workers. Shout out to all of our hard at work, whether you're at home, at work, in your car, at the gym, wherever you are. Shout out to you listening for spending the evening with us, for spending a couple minutes with us as we delve into the topic today. Today's topic is going to be very interesting. It's going to be very fun, and we have a lot of truly shocking, as if we haven't already heard a lot of shocking material, right? As if this isn't the theme of this channel. But more often than not, we dig into the truths of our community, the truth that most people, most Black males specifically, do not want on Front Street, the truth that will set our community free. Ultimately, I want to thank you once again for joining the Intermission live stream podcast. Shout out to the 81 people who are already watching. Before we get into this subject matter at hand, we have a couple of, and I hate to say this, house cleaning type chores to scrutinize, or a couple of side ventures that we need to dig into. Make sure that you like the stream on your way in, ladies and gentlemen. And once again, to everybody that's been sending me emails, donations, thank yous, contributions, I really want to thank you and appreciate you and love on you. That means the world. You keep the channel going. I have lots of things that I have planned for this channel, and you are a part of that. If you'd like to donate via Cash App, it's cashapp.com/$truthseekers, TRUTHSEEKRS, or paypal.me/thehonest truth. Make sure that there's a T after honest and a T before truth. PayPal.me/thehonest truth. I was searching the YouTubes, and I'm not subscribed to Kevin Scamills anymore. I'm not subscribed to any of the man's favorite content creators, because at this point I've gotten my fill on their ignorance. I already know where they're coming from. And guess what? There's a large population of men that are starting to get their fill as well. What do you mean, Truth? Well, I'll explain to you exactly what I mean. For our audio listeners, what I'm doing right now is pulling up a picture. The picture I'm pulling up is a screenshot that I saw on a questionnaire that Kevin Scamills, the fraud father, just released. Now, if you're a certain level content creator on YouTube, you can make polls. And when you make these polls, you can ask your subscribers a question. They can vote based off of the responses that you provide and the selections on that poll and things of that nature. And Kevin Scamills recently did a poll. And we had some very interesting answers. I'm going to show you that poll. Actually, I'll explain the poll. The poll was, what do you think I should do with my content going forward? So I'm not sure if maybe he's running out of ideas or whatever it might be, but this is why I wanted to bring this to attention. A man named the Cool Man, username the Cool Man, who's a subscriber to Kevin Scamills, said the topics are similars. I know, similars. We already know how the English language goes with a lot of the Black man, but here we go. The topics are similars. The women have the same mindset. It's getting repetitive. I even miss some lives, which is something I never did before. My, oh my. That's what the Cool Man said under Kevin Scamills' poll. Once again, if you're just now joining us, Scamills is trying to figure out what he can do better for his channel. I wanted to assess this for a few reasons and kind of break down what exactly is happening. Now, on this channel beforehand, we already spoke about the true nature of Kevin Scamills' channel, that at some point or another, the successes or the solutions won't be provided to males, therefore rendering it inadequate, repetitive, boring. I compare and I liken it to fast food. Now, when you don't have any money, when you're starving, fast food is necessary. It's a necessary evil. However, staying on a diet of fast food is not giving you the adequate nutritional solutions to what your body truly needs to break down to continue to sustain itself in the metabolic healthy factor and form that it was designed to function in. Kevin Scamills' channel likes to point out the problems of everything without giving you the actual solution. And men like the Cool Men are starting to realize that everything they've been consuming for years at this point, for a year and a half, however long he's been popular, Mr. Scamills, is not providing any adequate nutritional solution to their lives, i.e. it's becoming repetitive. i.e., it's becoming something that I'm getting tired of hearing because I think that all women have the same mindset, that there's no hope, right? The Black Manospheric Doomer. Make sure you watch that live stream that was shared by Cynthia G. Shout out to Cynthia G. And Nyla Says also, by the way. The women are the same, when in reality the women aren't the same. The men and your nutritional value has been steadily increasing in the failure of selections of food. And so you're saying women the same, when in reality it's the food that you're consuming that's ultimately warping your mindset. It's warping your mind state. You're not on a healthy diet right now, so you don't have the ability to see life in different colors. Your body is starting to shut down. You're consuming nothing but fast food. It's very obvious and apparent that not all women in the world think the same. All right. This is how rational people think and see things. Not all people are the same, period. Not all women are the same. However, for males who are attached and have found themselves attached to their fraud father, godfather's hips, they can't help but see certain situations in this light. Oh, well, all the women are the same, fraud father. All the women on the Kevin Scamill's channel aren't the same. But what Kevin Scamill's like to do is paint all the women out to be the same. And we've talked about this before, right? He'll dig and dig and dig and dig until he can find one chink in their armor and then use that to substantiate his claims that, oh, well, you see, she's another woman. She wakes up late. She just like all the other women. She talks back. She's rude. She has the signs, shame, insult, guilt needs to be ride. And so he'll make it seem like all the women are the same. And so you think that all the women are the same when in reality, they're not. All of those women have a completely different life story and trajectory, but you don't have the ability, once again, to focus on that because your nutritional value, your nutritional mindset, your mindset, your mental aptitude is so deep in the gutter because of the consummation of garbage ass food that you've been eating. Welcome to everybody that's just now joining the channel. We're going to be digging into it tonight. I'm feeling good tonight. I'm feeling good. I hope you're feeling great wherever you are. Leave a comment in the chat from the state that you're watching in, the abbreviation, i.e. TX, if it's Texas, or the country that you're watching in. We'll try and discern, but if you want to leave the entire country name, I would welcome you. And I want to give a huge shout out to everybody watching us all around the world because we do have watchers all around the world and supporters just like you. Cappuccino Gassos, they're ready for the next best thing. LOL. He's going to be crying like Tommy next. Yeah, they're already ready. Oh, well, that didn't solve my solutions. Fraud father, I'm getting tired of it. I still can't get women. It's almost as if eating fast food doesn't solve your craving. Wow, who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? Ohio in the building, Texas in the building, New York in the building, Athens, Greece in the building, California in the building, New Jersey in the building. Toni Morrison says she's hyped. Oh, I'm hyped. She says she is as well. Nice. Duslana in the building. Connecticut in the building. Maryland in the building. Florida in the building. More Texas. I see the Texases. California, Florida, Pennsylvania, New York, Queens in the building. Ladies and gentlemen, this video is being brought to you by our sponsors, which is uniqueboutiquecandles.com. Uniqueboutiquecandles.com. For all the best scents that money can buy, I choose uniqueboutiquecandles.com. Turn your house into a home, your apartment into an abode with Unique Boutique Candles today. 25% off your first purchase. Coupon code is on the website, ladies and gentlemen. Also, for the best in all natural body, bath, shampoo, sugar scrubs, oils, make sure to visit Mystic Tone on Instagram, instagram.com/Mystic Tone. Website is coming soon, ladies and gentlemen. We'll have a website for Mystic Tone soon. You'll be able to buy all of the products on the website. Let's dig right on into this. Toronto in the building. Washington in the building. I almost said Wisconsin. I see everyone. Let's dig right on into this. I want to go ahead and start off with another comment. Last comment here before we get into the message today. Last comment here. Make sure you're liking the video. We're starting with the comment of the day right now. Timothy Vaughn said, "This young black man is the most ignorant I've heard in a long time. Long time. To willfully sit back and skew other black men so that he has a platform is ridiculous. He's overly emotional in his expression and seemingly seeking attention. I'm 57, and I can't wait for Kevin Samuels to get a hold of this young boy." To which I said, "You are nearly 60 years old and waiting on another grown man to do your bidding. Why don't you come from me yourself?" Now, the comments were just as enlightening. Go to the, I don't know where that was actually posted, so I'll have to find the tab for you. But the comments were hilarious underneath him, so forgive me. I'll definitely have to get those to you. 57-year-old man waiting for Kevin Samuels, a man that he is older than, to come get me. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the house Negroids, right? Oh, master gonna get you, boy. Master gonna get you, boy. Wait till master gets a hold of you, boy. I'm gonna tell master. I'm gonna tell master on you, cause you cutting up now. Master not gonna like that. Master not gonna like that. 60-year-old man watching Kevin's game is one of the comments said, "This is why the black community is in such disarray. You have the fools leading the fools." Let's start the stream out, ladies and gentlemen, with a picture of the first interracial couple. The first interracial couple. Why am I showing this? Well, obviously, it might not be a surprise to some of you, but it's going to be a surprise to the Negroids of the black pedosphere. The first interracial couple was a black woman and a white man. Who would have thought? Richard and Mildred Loving helped make it possible with their sacrifice and willingness to fight. Why did I bring up Richard and Mildred Loving as the first point of contention that we have for these black Negroids? Well, I'll explain it to you right now. Even in the most racist times in the nation, black women led in interracial dating. Before we dive into the madness that will ensue in the stream, it needs to be completely understood that black men, that black women were dating interracially before black men could even conceive the thought of interracial dating. Since black men want to compete with black women and everything, since you want to make everything a competition, black men, you lost when it came to interracial dating when it was first brought up to society. Since you want to compete so badly with your own women, I'm going to ensure that by the end of the stream, your overused, twisted, illogical trains of thought are derailed completely. That those train tracks will never be of use to you and your logical fallacies again. I think someone donated on Cash App. If you donated on Cash App, I just want to say thank you. I haven't looked, but I heard something. Oh, thank you. It's Just Me Podcast for sharing the video. It's Just Me Podcast for sharing the video. I figure it's about time we talk about interracial dating and the fetishization of black men in regards to them chasing white women. The black manosphere, pedosphere, is particularly vested in a message that black women need to start competing with white women. Kevin Scamey is always saying, "Oh, Becky's gonna." You got to start competing with Becky. Becky, he even has a video titled, "Can White Women Teach Black Women How to Attain High Value Men?" Imagine that. I think it was done 11 months ago. That Becky is going to be the newest face of competition for black women, right? Well, I'm going to tell you exactly how much Becky wants black men today. If you're a fan of Cynthia G, you can watch her intro with white women specifically explaining how them dating black men is a step down as far as their social identity. Thank you, Cynthia G, for supporting the channel. That Becky is, in their minds, willing and waiting in the bushes to pounce on the black men if black women slip up. I find it interesting, yet again, that black men are completely oblivious to how society views them. But I'm going to explain to you, black men, how society views you in comparison to how they view themselves in regards to societal perception. How the least educated, lowest earning, most criminally convicted per 1,000 least building owning, least business owning group of men has found desirability with other races of women whose men outfield, out-educate, out-produce, out-earn them is a mystery to me and to you listening right now. But nonetheless, I've decided to do some digging and research, and lo and behold, what I found was some truly jaw-dropping information in regards to interracial marriage and dating. Statistics for you statisticians, mathematical Negroid majors will be given later on in the stream. Information that we all know on this channel. However, in order to take it a step further in efficacy, I have found black men, and one of the most prominent black men in the pedosphere, giving revelation on how other races see white women dating black men. I typed something else, but I don't want to say that. Once again, this is self-admittedly given to us by Donovan Sharp, one of the largest content creators in the pedosphere, boasting over 100,000 subscribers. He's a black man who is dating a white woman. And so before we go ahead and dive into this, let's go ahead and once again thank our contributors. If you want to donate, please donate. I appreciate you. I have a lot of stuff I'm paying right now. So to bring myself out of dust, I'll be completely honest. And I have some stuff I want to buy as well. So thank you so much for all the contributions. This is Donovan Sharp, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching on audio, I'm going to explain to you that you're not missing much. You'll be able to hear everything just the same. The name of this video that Donovan Sharp made was 3 reasons why white fathers don't want their daughters dating black men. My goodness. I'll have to give credit to Donovan Sharp here. Donovan Sharp, in the, I guess in the lieu of transparency, was completely transparent In the name of transparency, he was completely honest. Now, once again, Donovan Sharp is 40-something years old. He has a white girlfriend named Devin Sharp. He's currently at war with the manosphere right now. They're having a civil war. But let's go ahead and play this video of why white fathers don't want their daughters dating black men.
But the thing is, most people who seem to have a problem with it are black women, just like are white men and black women.
I'm stopping it here. He's saying that black women have a problem with black men dating white women. They honestly don't. And here's why. Black women know how it goes at the end of the day. Without giving it too much credence, without going too deep into it, we'll come back to that, okay? He has to say that to save face since he's a black man.
Women, just like Jill's father and my mother. And if you pay attention, you'll also notice that in high school, okay, high school aged interracial relationships, the battle lines are drawn much the same way. White fathers and black mothers are almost always the most vehement dissenters when their daughters date their black sons, when their white daughters date their black sons. So now the question becomes, why is this? Why is it that that white mothers and black fathers stay comparatively?
Okay, come on.
Well, tonight, what either parent is afraid to say, bad for that snafu. Now, when Devin and I first started talking, she told me that if I were to meet her parents, that they would love me and they would have no problem with our relationship. Okay? She said that they'd give us their blessing and would be perfectly okay with us, to which I responded, of course they don't have a problem with me being black. You're past the wall.
So let's just stop this right here, okay? Obviously, this is a manosphere content creator, but his point right here is to say that, oh, of course they're not going to have a problem with you dating me right now because you're past this wall, right? Oh, we know that the manosphere loves talking about the wall, but he just literally dissed himself as a black male for dating interracially, and saying that the only reason and the only way that her parents are going to be okay with her as a white woman dating a black male is because she doesn't have as much quote unquote desirability. So indirectly, he's insulting himself and all other black men, saying that the reason that they're okay with this is because they just wanted to have a man, even if it's a lower quality man, they're okay with it. I just need to make that very clear. He starts off by literally dissing himself.
And the funny thing is, okay, she laughed and said, God damn, you're harsh. But she knew I was right.
But she knew I was right.
Right after she told me that.
She knew I was right. That was a poor choice.
She then told me if we were dating in high school, it would be a very different story with her father. Regardless of race, gentlemen, women of all races.
All right, we're going to go to a part here later. 1 second.
But for pretty young white girls who are in their sexual primes, there are three main reasons.
Three main reasons.
White fathers are strongly opposed to their daughters dating black boys. No, it has nothing. Some of it might have to do with the fact that they are racist, but that seems to be the obvious thing.
And once again, I got to give Donovan some credit for being honest here. He's at least being honest. Some of it is racism, but a lot of it's not. The brutal honest truth, and we know the brutal honest truth, is that black men are the lowest in everything. And so no father, regardless of race, right, or regardless of race, outside of black men, want their daughters dating black men because they're the lowest on the totem pole. So this isn't just with white men, and this is with all races of men. We're going to show some numbers later. But let's continue here. He says a couple of things that are powerful, and then we'll move on.
But I'm going to point out three reasons why white fathers have a problem with their young teenage daughters dating black boys. Oh, thank you. Can you bring me a bottle of water too? Oh my God. Bottle of petrified that when and if their daughters date black boys or starting to date black boys, she'll blast it all over social media.
So number one is they're scared for their daughter's image to be on social media. I think this is a very reasonable fear, essentially, right? And he goes on to say that at some point or another, the reason they're scared is because they don't want other people or other races or their same race to look at them as a white male with a white daughter and say, well, what happened with her? Why is she dating a black guy? Why is she not dating a man that represents the image of her father? After all, it's pretty much known that a father wants his daughter to date a man that's like him. If he's a decent father, if he's a good man, you want to be able to see a little bit of yourself in your son-in-law. That's why we call it a son-in-law. We don't just call it a in-law or whatever it might be. You call him a son-in-law when you get married and when he gets married to your daughter. And so this perception of having no relevancy, no similarity between the father is very disturbing for a father. It's very disturbing for a man who has children, who was a good man in his child's life. All right. Need to make that clear right there. We'll continue really quickly, and then we'll continue on the message. Shout out to everybody watching. 232 people watching right now.
White fathers are petrified that when and if their daughters date black boys, she's going to blast it all over social media, guys. She'll post pictures, she'll post videos, and anything she can think of to tell the world about her boyfriend. Now, to be fair, she'd be doing this anyway, regardless of her boyfriend's race. But it's the black boys that her dad wants her not to broadcast. Let's not get it twisted here.
Let's not get it twisted. I'm glad Donovan's being honest about this, all right? I'm glad that we're having a moment of clarity and a moment of honesty here, because this is how you are seeing black men. This is how the women see you of other races. This is how the men see you of other races. So this entire disillusioned mindset that you have as far as your societal perceptions, listen, if you don't listen to me, then listen to another black male who's a part of the literal manosphere, hateful group of men that you tie your ideological beliefs into. This is one of your leaders. So I know you're going to call me a panderer for speaking proudly about black women needing to divest, for speaking proudly about whatever I speak about in regards to supporting black women. But make no mistake about it, this is somebody who you chose to elect to lead yourself into the new crusade of masculinity and interracial dating and marriages. This is somebody that you would be willing to die on the battlefield fighting with and alongside, telling you the brutal, honest truth of just how you are perceived inside of white communities, Asian communities, Latino communities. But I also, in case you decided to say that somehow I've doctored this video up, decided to bring you some statistics that back up exactly what Donovan Sharp, your leader who works in allegiance with Kevin Samuels, is saying. I brought some stats to back up Donovan Sharp, who works with Coach Greg Adams, who works with Fresh and Fit Podcast, who put Fresh and Fit Podcast on to where they are today. I found some statistics to back up everything that your leader is saying. How incredible is it that your leader and I am saying the same exact thing? Very interesting here. Let's continue on a bit more, then we'll move on. Shout out to the 241 people watching right now. Make sure you like the video.
In a white father's mind, this reflects poorly on him.
Absolutely. You know why it reflects poorly on a white father? Because white men own the world. And so when he has a daughter that chooses to go off after a man who is the most conquered throughout history, the least earning, the lowest educated, the most criminally convicted, naturally, it's going to make him feel a certain type of way. All right. We're not just going out on a limb by saying that. When you have a man who's given essentially the best pool of men to choose from by and large to date, the most productive men to choose from by and large to marry, to build with, and she decides to go after the lowest group of men, that's going to stir some controversy inside of him. That's going to stir some turmoil inside of him. It wouldn't make a lot of sense, nor should it. Nor should it. Now, listen. I'm not racist. I believe that everybody should love what they love. However, the reason that I'm making these discussions and bringing these points to light is because if there is racism in the black community, it is in the hearts of black men. We've seen the videos of violence against quote unquote dark-skinned women. We've seen black men have their dark skin non-preferences, that they want the lights, that this, that. Racism and colorism fully exist in the hearts and the minds of the black pedospheric male. Make no mistake about that. All right. This is why I'm bringing this up. And hey, it's not even me bringing it up. I'm just bringing to light what one of your leaders said. Right? Continue on really quickly here.
His friends and family will indirectly wonder, well, where did he go wrong with her?
Yes, where did he go wrong with her?
Happens.
Lord have mercy.
Number 2, he knows that white boys are going to stay away. Let's not beat.
All right. Now we're talking. He knows that white boys are going to stay away. This leads us to our next point, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to show you an article, and I'm going to show you something that I Googled. This is going to blow your mind. I'm going to try not to hurt him, Shay. I'm going to try not to hurt him. She says, THT, don't hurt him. Reese Richards says, I've been watching Donovan Sharp. I watched one Donovan Sharp live. He's trying so hard to be Kevin Samuels. Yeah, it's, Donovan's been doing this for a long time, but he'll never quite get to that level. Obviously, very few men will. However, even Kevin Samuels will have his day of reckoning sooner or later. The research I did was absolutely fascinating. Now, if you don't believe what Donovan Sharp is saying, if you don't believe what I'm saying, if you think that for whatever reason, my black Negroid male, ignorant-minded, if you think for whatever reason I don't know what I'm talking about, I brought you personal stories from white men. The first story comes to us from Reddit. This is a trip, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching or listening on audio, just know that I will be reading a story in words. You're not missing necessarily anything. The first story is this. I'm 25 female boyfriend, who is 35 males, of 14 months, found out I had previously slept with a black guy. Now he wants to break up. Thoughts? Let's read the story. My boyfriend and I were watching Californication last week, and a scene came up about biracial dating. He asked me if I had ever been with a black guy. I answered yes. I had rebound sensual relations with an African-American 2 years prior to meeting significant other. She had a rebound. She didn't date him. She didn't get engaged to him. She wasn't married. They weren't boyfriend and girlfriend. She just had a rebound, something that she could fall back on. Something that she knew that she always had in the bag. Relations with the black dude 2 years prior to meeting her fiance now. Here's the problem, she says. Oops. I just messed it up. Here's the problem, she says. He asked me in passing a couple of months ago into dating if I'd ever been with a black guy. I lied and said I hadn't. She lied to him. We know why she lied. I knew it was something that I might be judged for. She says I wasn't totally comfortable with the event of sleeping with that person in the first place, and I felt it wasn't his business at the time regarding who I slept with. A long time ago, he established that he would never associate himself with a white girl that had slept with a black guy. And now he is devastated. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. And stay with me longer in the stream, folks. This gets even more interesting. I know, it's like the commercial, but wait, there's more. You just don't understand how it could get even worse. Trust me, it gets worse. He just cannot understand the why behind the attraction. He's really stuck on that aspect, she says. I told him we're all just people and you can be attracted to whoever you want. Also, people make bad decisions. Funny she says that. Then she goes on to say, parentheses, not saying the racial aspect was bad, but I was drunk when I hooked up with this person, and that is out of character for me. I was in a bad place at the time. So she says, I'm not saying I'm racist. I just knew that me sleeping with this bad guy was probably a bad decision because I was drunk. Of course, she said the boyfriend doesn't get it. She goes on to say, we have worked past the lying aspect. I should have told him in the first place since it was such a big deal to him. No, you done messed up now. You should have told him that you slept with a black guy. I should have told him that because I knew it was going to be such a big deal to him. But now he has these visuals of me with a black guy, and it's disturbing him to no end. My significant other is a stubborn guy and has expressed his aversion to biracial couples, has been ingrained in him since he was young. Now, he'll say biracial, his aversion to biracial couples, but make no mistake about it, okay? Make no mistake about it. He is not adverse to him dating a black woman. He is only adverse to him having and seeing his women dating black men. How do I know this? I'm glad you asked. I'm ecstatic that you asked. We'll get back to that a little bit later in the stream. Just know that when you Google certain keywords, you will never, and I didn't find a single news article that pinged when you reverse the roles and the races and the genders of the question. It is absolutely fascinating, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely fascinating. Let's move on. I'm just having trouble wrapping around my brain how my significant other, I'll zoom back in on this. We're still reading on Reddit for audio listeners. I have trouble wrapping my brain around how my significant other seems to have no ability to let it go. Previous to this, we had talked about moving in together, kids, buying a house. He has hinted at proposing a couple times, and I know he's discussed it with his friends. For the first time in my life, I've seen the potential for having a life partner and vice versa from his perspective, but to throw it all away just because he can't get over his racist thoughts, it makes me infuriated and hurt. We're going to stop this right here. And I want to clear one thing up. This is not a racist type or train of thought. This is the brutal, honest truth. And the true nature about the situation is that the boyfriend, the white man, is having such a hard time realizing that his white quote unquote queen, as black men refer to them as, it slept with the degenerate, by and large majority, encompassing totalitarian and ignorant mindset that black men seem to thrive in. He has an issue with seeing his women lower her standards so much to the stereotypical Pookie Ray Ray, stereotypical felony convicted black men that thrive and that are nearly the majority in the black community. That's what he has a problem with, right? He has a problem with nearly 50% of the jail population being made up from less than 5% of the active population, i.e. black males that live in America. That's what he has a problem with. And he's confused as to why this woman, who had been given so many opportunities to possibly meet men like him, would decide to essentially have a rebound sexual intercourse one night with a man that represents literally everything, the antithesis that a lot of white men stand for. That's what he's having a problem with, okay? Now, I found this really interesting. Slave Room says, gave it up for free. Y'all are hilarious. Y'all are hilarious. I keep thinking, I feel my phone vibrate, so I keep checking to make sure that I don't miss any of y'all's donations. Forgive me if I do miss the donations, y'all. I'm trying to do better. Okay, we're good. So let's move on here. All right, let's move on here. There's another story. You know what? We'll read the other story in 1 second. Before we read the other story, I got to say this. There's a reason why the black and white manosphere will never be able to unite in synchrony. It's not because of race. This is not a racial issue. Well, it is, obviously. But it's because they're fighting two completely different wars on two completely different levels. Black pedospheric men are fighting for the crumbs and scraps at the table. They're fighting for essentially the women who will not be chosen by white men, the white women who will not be chosen by white men because of their choice to chase after the men who have failed consistently the most in America. I understand love has no colors. However, this is the brutal, honest truth of interracial dating in regards to white men and white women who have gone after black men. The white pedosphere is fighting for the vast array of wealth and power that they have accumulated over time. Now, public perception of interracial dating 101. If a black man gets with a white woman, just like we saw in the intro to Cynthia G's channel, it's not seen as a benefit or a step up in society's eyes as far as dating is concerned. All right? When a black man gets with the white women, moreover, it's seen as she lowered her potential value. This is a fact. This is how other people see it. This is a fact. All right. However, when a black woman starts dealing with a white man, it is seen that she is typically, for lack of better terminology, upgraded, i.e. secured the bag from the general type of men that she has access to in the community. Moreover, if a black woman gets with a white men don't see that white men don't see that white men as going any lower. They don't have that perception of thought. This is the reason why the first interracial couple was a white man and a black woman. This was the reason that you would never and will have never seen the first interracial couple being a black man and a white woman. That would have never passed. That's a fact. $2 super chat from the study show says the black manostains. I think I kind of understand it, but thank you for the $2 super chat. Make sure you support the show, ladies and gentlemen, and make sure if you're not able to donate, that you're able to like the stream. The likes definitely go far, and they carry us to new audiences, and they bring us into the YouTube analytics. My edges are looking so much more scrumptious thanks to Mystic Tone hair oil. Y'all can see the difference. My beard is a little dusty, but hey, you gotta keep it a little dusty for the reminder, in reminiscence of the excruciatingly high levels of dust I was in. I'm walking in my sub dust today. Thank you for understanding. Now, this is not to say that there are not some black men in the black community that have the ability to provide sustainability and economic progress in the black community. I get that there are good black guys. All right. I'll be interviewing some of them. Relax. Black man, chill. He be saying, He be saying that there ain't no good black men, and wait till Kevin. He be saying. Now, we have spoken about however other. Let me not even say that. These black men are the severe minority. This is why I don't praise black men who are doing well for their communities and doing well for themselves, because there is a large amount of black men who are doing well for themselves who don't even feel the need to go back to give to the community because that's not quote unquote their problem anymore. They've divested from their own hoods that they claim to be so Hotep Jesus pro black for. Oh, it's not your problem anymore. I thought you loved the black community. I thought you were a part of the manosphere that seek to the black manosphere that seeks to the black community, communitas, they call themselves, that seek to enrich. Yeah, right. Yeah, you know you want to get the hell up out of the hood when you get some money, nigga. You and everybody else. This is the reason why I point out the fact that them thinking that when they get with white women somehow upgrades the image of white women. In reality, we know it's the opposite. Now, we've spoken about how every other race of people views the black males. We've listened to Donovan Sharp explain how he is a black male dating a white woman, has heard confirmation from his woman, literally explaining and acknowledging that if he was to date the same woman that he's dating now in high school, her father would have given her a verbal lashing. We've explained Donovan Sharp even admit that he is a black man is looked down upon by the own parents of the women that he has been in a relationship with for 6 years now. Since you don't believe what I'm saying, since you call me a pander bear. We've spoken about how destructive, low property value, crime-ridden, war-torn environments that a large portion of the black community is made of, yet somehow disillusioned mindsets seem to prevail within the hearts and the minds of majority of black males who follow Kevin Scamills. Somehow they think that when they date with the black woman, that since they can get married to a black woman or a white woman or whatever it might be, that raises her value, that raises their value. When in reality, all races of men just say, listen, that's a woman we don't want to get with. You see her walking right there. We'll make sure to keep tabs on her and then make sure we stay the hell away from her, because that doesn't align with our progressive notion of thought. This mindset somehow contradicts all the results that they have been accumulating or lack thereof for centuries. They think that they are a catch. Moreover, the males who do actually have an education or being a normal adult in civilized society feel that somehow because they're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing as a man, it makes them a prize. They see rich athletes, extremely highly educated black males able to date out. Somehow that means that they're desired as black males, when in reality, the only reason they're able to date out in the first place or get with the white woman in the first place was because they have what most black men don't have, which is resources. We'll explain a little bit more of these numbers later. Stick with me, ladies and gentlemen. 307 people watching. This is only going to get more interesting. I am telling you, today's going to be a heck of a live stream. Sometimes the Pookie may have very good looks or swagger, which will enable him to have access to a certain race of women. But at the end of the day, as Cynthia G. Nyla says all the time, the same black men that black women get by and large will be the same black men that white, Asian, Latino, Pacific Islanders get as well. One thing black men love to throw in black women's face is the fact that they are married interracially at a higher rate. Oh, this is going to be good. They're married interracially at a higher rate. Well, let's examine this statement, and I will attempt to, yet again, use black men's reasoning and logic to show exactly where you got the game effed up, my nigga. I'm going to use your train of thought to prove to you exactly where you're right and where you're wrong. And guess what? Even when you're right, you still end up being wrong. What do I mean? Well, I'm glad you asked. Here are some studies on the statistics of marriage, but more importantly, divorce in interracial relationships. A 2008 study by Jennifer L. Bratter and Rosalinda B. King, conducted on the behalf of the Education Resource Information Center, examined whether crossing racial boundaries increased the risk of divorce. Now, this was done in the 2002-2008 surveys that were collected. I know it's a bit old. However, just bear with me. There's not as many studies like this being done, but this is one of the most reliable studies that I could find. Using these studies, the likelihood of divorce in interracial couples to that of same-race couples was compared. Comparisons across the marriage cohorts revealed that overall, interracial couples have a higher rate of divorce in comparison to the same-race couples. But it's not exactly what you think. I know the Negroids are waiting. See? You see? You see? Now let's just examine and give credence to something, okay? They're the ones that always love to throw the shade saying that they can marry out more. Oh, well, black men get married to white women more. When the sentence that I just read and with the stats, the picture that I'm going to show you right now is going to prove that, yes, guess what? You're able to marry more. And as a result, interracial marriages per capita studied, per 1,000 surveyed, are extremely higher than same race marriages. So that ends up being a bad thing. Niggas. Let's bring up this picture from Thought Catalog. Thought Catalog, I think, is ran by a black woman. It's a brilliant site. And one of the articles stuck out to me. Now, I'm going to read this to you really quickly, first and foremost. Using these percentages that were actually in that study, this is a diagram. And for our audio listeners, you can't see this, but I'm going to explain the picture. What this picture is comprised of is, the little restroom signs where it says, for women or for men. It's pictures like that. And it's the signs in representation of every different type of relationship. So the first two are the male restroom sign, female restroom sign, which are transparent or white to represent the white couples. The next one is the black male restroom sign with the white female restroom sign. Interracial divorce rate compared to divorce rates amongst white couples, the black male with the white woman is 200% more likely to divorce in comparison to the rate for white men and white women. I'm going to fast forward to the most shocking revelation of this. You see this white male with the black male marriage restroom sign figure here? Out of every interracial relationship surveyed, and this is obviously in acknowledgement that there weren't as many Asian and black marriages, so they didn't have enough data to actually survey Asian and black marriages to include in this pool. So those numbers aren't in. So if you're watching or listening on the podcast or listening audibly, this is a comparison strictly to Asian and white. Asian women and white men, but particularly just with black and white. Let's just keep it there, okay? Out of all the statistics and interracial marriages, the only one that saw a less likely rate for divorce to happen was black women and white men. If you are hearing my voice on the radio waves right now, I need you to honk your car. If you're in the car right now, honk your car. Maybe somebody else is listening to you right now. We have 330 people. I know I'm getting full of myself, right? You're like, nigga, it's 330 people, not 330,000. Relax. Honk your horn if you're in the car right now. I need you to do 5 jumping jacks if you're listening to me right now in work. 331 people watching. Make sure you like the video. I'm going to dig even deeper into this. You want to be so proud that you marry more. I need you to understand that even in black women, even in you marrying more, it's still a bad thing. Because in the marriages that black women are having with white men, not only are they less likely to get married, or not only are they not as likely to get divorced, but they are 44% less likely to get divorced than a white man with a white woman. 44%. This is why divestment needs to be preached and talked about. Thank you for that Cash App donation, whoever just donated to me. Make sure, ladies and gentlemen, if you're able to donate to this channel, if you support the message here, these streams take a long time. I'm not going to lie. These take a long time to procure. If you can donate, I'd like for you to donate. I appreciate that. I don't care if they call me a panderer. I don't care if they call me a beggar. I don't care, whatever it might be, because I want the word to get out. This word needs to get out. People need to hear this message, and they need to know the true nature of the evilness, of the degeneracy of most of the black males in the black community. I can't do that without contributions. I can't do that without actually being able to take time off from work, take hours out of my day to prepare for streams like this, and your donations matter. I'll be completely frank and honest with you. There's so many bills that I pay. I'll be completely honest with you, dude. I'm trying to get my life back to normal, and this takes money. I'm so far behind in my life that in order to really do as much as I want to do for this channel, to push this as much as I want to go, it takes money. And with your contributions, we can do that. So thank you so much for everybody that's donating to me. Tony Morrison with the $20 super sticker and the channel membership for the continued donation. Thank you, Tony Morrison, one of the top contributors of this channel. This is absolutely fascinating to me. This is mind numbing to me. This is mind blowing to me, but this is the truth. When black women choose to date interracially, they are 44% less likely to get divorced than the white man with his own women. So this begs the question to me. I'm not going to say that, but this begs the question to me that, you know what? Maybe we need to be pushing this a bit harder. Black men, you really want the best for your women, right? You really want the best for your community, right? You really want this and this, that, and this and that. Well, when I look at the numbers, the best thing for black women obviously is for them to start leaving you the hell of alone, to start leaving the single mother creators alone, the Pookies, the Ray Rays. So you want black women to get it all together, right? Well, for black women to get it together, by the numbers and statistics, it says to leave black men alone. Well, we be marrying though. Oh, but bear with me. It gets even better. Bear with me. It gets better. Marie Marshall with the $22.99, I believe, Australian dollar donation. She said, love seeing the stats, THT. Absolutely. I was going to do the stats stream, but it's too many stats. I had to break it up. It's too many stats because it would be almost nearly boring with as many stats as we have, as I found. I'd have to break it up. Now, the next question naturally I have is, why aren't more black women divesting? Before I get into this, I want to give you an analogy of how stupid black men thinking that, oh, we can get married more. I want to give you an analogy of how stupid this is, right? So they're always trying to compete with black women. Compete. You're competing with everybody but the people you're supposed to be competing with. You're so masculine, but you want to compete with women, right? You're so masculine, you argue with women 24/7, right? This is the analogy that I kind of made up. This is like black men being proud with the other dating women. It's like, imagine that you're on a plane, right? And upon the commercial flight, the engine has failure. You're told that you're in luck because you're handed a parachute and told that you will be able to survive because the airliner knew that the plane was compromised. So you should be happy. It would be much better if you were never on the plane to begin with. You can't use an argument that a parachute saved your life when the plane shouldn't have gone down in the first place. Shit, we knew it might go down, bro, but we got the parachute though. Bragging about having parachutes on a flight that's crashing and burning is not a flex, black man. That's a lawsuit. Bragging about you being able to date white women, marry white women, but yet having a 200% increase in the chances of divorce in comparison to the same white women dating white men is not a flex. That's embarrassing. But I got more information for him. Shout out to Matty Fi with the $5, I think it's pounds donation. Good morning from Nordic Europe. It's 6 a.m. here. Just check in. Thank you, Matty Fi. Good morning. Northern Europe in the building. 350 people watching. 350 people watching. Lisa Session with a $20 super sticker. Thank you so much, Lisa, for supporting this message, for supporting the truth. $20 super sticker from Lisa Session. I'm getting it. Let's dig even deeper into this. Next question I have is, why aren't more black women divesting? Now, I've personally heard how a lot of our ladies feel more comfortable with black men. I've actually talked with some of the contributors and channel members, and I understand that. I get that. This is the major reason why I do what I do. Putting the dirty laundry of black men on Front Street so that when they try and shame black women for remaining loyal to them, when they try and shame black women for choosing to divest, the rest of the world, the other side, can see the hell that black women are born into. I hope that by doing videos like these, in the years to come, other races of men will start to understand and turn more into Goldman Sachs, who wants to invest $10 billion into black women. They'll further empathize with the plight of the modern day black women. The conversations in all white workplaces can start to be had, which starts to restore the image that black men seek so viscerally to tear down, to destroy, to demonize in regards to the public perception and image of black women. I hope, and that is my desire as this channel continues to grow with your support. Another reason why black women have trouble dating interracially is because a lot of the black women simply have not heard of the idea of divestment. It's simply not popular. They're scorned from the men in their community, the men that they have been so loyal to for 500, 600, 1,000, 2,000 years, being sold into slavery and hanged from trees. They're loyal. They've been loyal. They have a hard time getting out of that loyalty mindset. It's not a bad thing. It's actually a credit to Black women for sticking with the worst group of men in the history of mankind. But yet, of course, Black men are going to demonize them for it. You're damned if you do decide to divest. You're damned if you do decide to roll with most of the failing Black men in the Black community. Oh, you should have chose better. Oh, you should have chose a better man. You should have married before you carry. When we've heard stories of women who've gotten married, and then all of a sudden the men flew off the script. We've heard stories like Stampitis, who's probably watching right now, who has the best woman in his life, but she's still not married to him. Stampitis is a high-earning Black male who doesn't believe in marriage because he thinks that, you know what? I'm a high-earning Black guy. I'm a prize right now, so I don't have to get married. Well, you should have chose better. And chosen what? A Pookie and a Ray Ray who would have put a ring on her finger as a felony convict? That's what you want her to do? So she's not technically a single mother? Right. You're damned if you do. You're damned if you don't. This idea of divestment is going to take time to grow. However, it's a movement that has started. Make no mistake about it. Through the help of Black men, ignorant Black men, and Black pedosphere, this movement is going to continue to grow. Because once again, I've said it before and I'll say it again, you've done more for the movement of divestment and Black failures than I could have ever done, that Cynthia G could have ever done, that Nyla Says, that Tanya TKO, that the Pink Pill, that any content creator that you hate so much could have ever done. You've done much more. Charlie Brown with the $5 super chat says they're begging for 50 years for white people to pay attention. Black men are just mad that other people don't like what they see. The authors found that gender plays a specific role in interracial divorce dynamics. This is incredible. We just kind of covered this, but this is continuing on with the study here. Man, 54 minutes I've been talking crazy. According to the adjusted models predicting divorce and the 10th year marriage, interracial marriages that are the most vulnerable involve white females and non-white males. Who would have thought that? White wife and Black marriages are, and Black male husbands are twice as likely to divorce by 10th year, aka that 200% increase in divorce. Conversely, white men, non-white women couples show either very little or no differences in divorce rate. That's another story that was born, but we saw in the chart that it's actually 44% less likely to divorce. Now, I want to show you something. This, if you haven't heard already, if you don't think already everything that you've heard, and I know I'm being loud, forgive me. I just have to be. I'm just pumped up right now. If you already haven't heard something that's mind-bending, I'm going to show you something. This was fascinating to me. Watch this. For our audio listeners, I'm pulling up a page of Google right now. Google.com, the most powerful, commonly used search engine in the world. I'm going to type in two phrases. All right? My, oh, my, oh, my. This was absolutely incredible when I did this. I'm going to type in two phrases. There's Google. You can tell it's Google. If I click I'm feeling lucky, it takes you to a page. This is the real Google. This is not a fake page I'm using. Watch this. Two phrases. Before I search this, let me just say this, okay? No, I'm not going to say this. Let me search this. We're going to type in girlfriend dated Black men. Girlfriend dated Black men. If you look at the search results, it immediately pulls up stories that we read. The number one search results, boyfriend is disgusted because I dated Black men. The next one, yes, I dated Black guys. Why is that a problem? The next one of the other ones, can I get a girlfriend? Can I get over a girlfriend being with Black guys? The Uncommon Forum says problem with girlfriend dating Black guy in the past. How do I deal with girlfriend's history of interracial dating? There are articles and thousands of these searches of white men having trouble getting over the fact that their girlfriend, white girlfriend, has been with the Black male. But guess what else? If I decide to switch the roles and type white boyfriend dated Black women, look what pops up. absolutely nothing. There are no stories, there are no Reddit messages, there are no posts of white women being so insecure with themselves that they had to take to Reddit to figure out how to get over that relationship. There's not a single one. And I searched for 20 of the first pages on Google. There wasn't one. Fascinating. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I couldn't find a single story. White women don't place low value on their men who have dated black women. However, white men absolutely place low value on the white women who have dated black men. And you want to know why? Because most black men have no value. As a matter of fact, the articles I did find on the front page of Google when I typed in white boyfriend dated black women were articles promoting divestment and for black women to start dating outside of their race. Don't believe me? Let's go right back to it. Where is it at? The article on the first page of Google says, from this website, why one sociologist says it's time for black women to date white men. That was on April 17th, 2019. When you type in the exact inverse of situations, a very different array, a very different result pops up on Google. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. That tells me that black women inherently in interracial dynamics and relationships, obviously because they get divorced at a less rate of white men and white women, obviously because black men have a 200% increase or chance of divorce when they decide to marry white women. That tells me that the inherent and the external and the societal value of black women in regards to interracial relationships and dating is exponentially greater than black men could ever hope to or achieve. This is a fact. Even if you don't believe perceptionally or societal wise what I'm saying to be true, the numbers are saying what I'm saying is true. The numbers prove it. Oh, I don't think that's not what I saw, because when I was in 4th grade, I had a dog and I saw this white girl, she liked my dog, and you see, I'll go ahead and acknowledge, hey, guess what? Yeah, guess what? You might get married more. But at the end of the day, getting married is not the end result. Staying married is. Building successfully is. The honeymoon phase phases out. We've all heard this and we have a term for it, the honeymoon phase. This is with everything in life. When you're doing something and everything's great, when you buy a new pair of shoes, you go through a honeymoon phase. The shoes feel great. They look great, but it takes time to scrub off those marks. It takes time to put the shoe trees in for leather shoes so the shrinkage doesn't start happening from the shoe gaining moisture and from being exposed to the elements and sunlight. It takes time to take care of those shoes. It takes cleaning supplies. You can't just always go buy a new pair of shoes unless you have a ton of money, right? You can't always go buy a new pair of shoes unless you have a lot of resources, which in that case, you're the part of the severe minority, especially amongst black men. You have to take care of your shoes so they can provide a lot of lastment for you, so they can provide a lot of sustainability for you. Just having the shoes and then not taking care of the shoes does you no good, because unless you have the money, the resources, the infrastructure needed to be able to provide for more shoes, then you're going to need to take care of the shoes that you have. So you don't get a badge of honor, black men, for being able to marry more outside of your race for interracial relationships. That means nothing, because most of you will not stay married. Now, they'll be so degenerate, they'll say, well, at least we got married, though. At least we had a parachute, though. The plane was going down, but shit, I knew it might go down, so I brought my parachute. It's better if the plane doesn't go down. Lordy. Charlie Brown with a $10 super chat says, I know a black man who's 50 and has never dated a black woman, doesn't have a car, his own place, and now he's saying he's only dating only black women. Gee, I wonder why. Scared of dying alone, perhaps? Yeah, quite possibly. Quite possibly. Artivarius 111 says, can they stay married? Absolutely not. They don't stay married. Moreover, and I can't keep going into this. Maybe we have to make a part 2 for this, to be honest with you. We're going to have to make a part 2 for this because I found so many articles of the statistics of divorced interracial white women who are raising interracial children, and the numbers are unconscionable. The numbers are ridiculous. Now, we already know that most children in the black community are born to single parent, one parent households because most of the guys in the black community aren't worth a damn. They're not worth anything. There is no family structure in the black community. There's no anything in the black community for the most part, right? But when you actually look at the statistics of the single mothers created by black males, they make the single mothers, black mothers created by black males, they make those statistics look like an ice cream cone. And I don't want to get too into it because it's going to be just an entirely new rabbit trail. Just know that I'm going to make another stream on interracial dating. And if you could even think of this situation getting worse, it gets 10 times worse in the next stream I'm going to talk about. This is incredible, ladies and gentlemen. This is incredible. And the rest of the world needs to see this. They need to understand what really is going on. I want to thank you, Joanna. Oh, forgive me, Joanna, for doxing you for the $10 Cash App donation. Joanna, for the $10 Cash App donation. I want to thank you again, Kier, for the $50 PayPal donation. Kier with a $50 PayPal donation. Kiera for the $50 PayPal donation. Joanna for the $10 Cash App donation. If you would like to donate to support this stream, there are the links in the live chat below. All donations are thoroughly appreciated. You go to support the truth, the nature of this message, and our channel to continue to grow and prosper. Kier, thank you again so much. Kier, at this point, ladies and gentlemen, is the top donator on this channel. I know that for a fact. She is approaching, or if not past, the $500 level. Kier 101-0. Huge contributor. I want to thank two ladies also that bought me the podcast microphones. They're still sitting in the closet. I'm still getting ready to buy the equipment needed. Thank you for everybody that's been supporting on the wish list. And thank you so much for Tony Morrison for buying another item on the wish list. We're going to have a new neon sign here in a second for the You Can't Handle the Truth live interviews we'll be doing in the very near future. Stick with me, ladies and gentlemen. They're still coming. I believe it was Tony Morrison. If it wasn't, forgive me. If it was Organic Black, I'm sorry, Organic Black. But both of those ladies in the chat have continued to support this channel, as well as Kier. So thank you all so much. I'm going to go ahead and open up the panel. I've spoken for a long time. 366 people watching. I know people are going to be in the chat. I know Negroids are going to be in the chat chomping at the bit to be able to get in. I haven't been able to cover everything, but we're going to have a part 2 to this, ladies and gentlemen, because apparently this is a popular topic. If you want to join the live stream, live chat panel, that link is in the description below. If you're at work, we'll make sure to get you in quickly. Leave me a private chat once you join saying you're at work and you just want to say something, and I'll make sure that you get enough time to say whatever you'd like to say. A lot of people calling in from work. A lot of people watching from work. Once again, I got to give a huge shout out to our sponsors for all natural bath, body shampoo, sugar scrubs, and oil. Make sure to visit Mystic Tone. Man, I messed up that one. Mystic Tone on Instagram. There's the link. Also, turn your house into a home, your apartment into an abode. I choose unique boutique candles, and so should you. 25% off your first purchase today. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. I want to thank Tequila for the $5 Cash App donation. Tequila for the $5 Cash App donation. Thank you, Tequila. They're not going to like this one, ladies and gentlemen. They're not going to like this one. The truth hurts, so they say. The truth hurts, and my goodness, it's going to sting today. If it's the last thing I do, I'm going to make sure that it stings you ignorant black men until it takes away the nerves and the sensation to where you can't feel anything anymore. I'm making that my life goal and my life duty. The rest of the world's going to understand why things are the way they are. And if you'd like to fix them for yourself, If you're tired of watching Kevin Samuels tell you that it's okay to be a failure, if you're tired of watching other Black manosphere content creators tell you that it's okay to be a failure and that you're just at the mercy of the big bad white blue-eyed devil white man, if you're tired of being a victim, I encourage you to stick around a little bit longer. You might become a better person. Maybe. It's up to you. Welcome, Lisa Marie Thomas and Victoria Richards, to the channel. Lisa Marie, the floor is yours. Thank you, Lisa Marie, for joining.
Hi, True. Hi, everyone. How are you all?
All right, Lisa, we're doing well.
Well, I love your channel and I support your channel and watch it. And
Thank you.
I remember I told this other YouTuber about you and your topic and your change and how you support Black women. And I recommended them to you. They might come watch you. But anyways, I was gonna say, is this what the Black community, is now? Like, I'm talking about the men. I know many Dusties will be like, not all Black men. Obviously, not all Black men. We're talking about the majority, the bad example.
Right.
But have these men ever played chess? Because it seems like for centuries now, and currently, white men and white women are playing chess on them, and they never take, time out to actually see different strategies to win. It's all women's fault.
And Lisa, you're right about that. I'm gonna stop you there. Yeah. And here's the thing. In regards to the message at hand, because I want to make sure we stay on topic. In regards to the message at hand, here's the thing. I'm glad you kind of brought this up, because this is what my mind connected to. When white women do decide to actually date Black men, by and large, the Black man is not going to have more resources than the pool of men that she actually has access to. So why would she do this? Yes, she is essentially in some point or in some case or another deciding to play chess, but it's playing chess for all the right reasons. She might be a complete nymphomaniac and get off on the fetishization of the strong, quote unquote, BBC type male, right? BBC type Black male. She might get off on the gangster ghetto stereotypical image of that or whatnot, right? But even at the end of the day, having said all of that, once she finally does get her fill, quote unquote, she understands that if she keeps it a secret, if she keeps it under wraps long enough, if she just moves about it the right way and she takes off, certain looks that might have, if she doesn't wear certain clothes that might have attracted Black males or Black male pookie dusties to her, if she just is able to code switch back into her community, she'll be able to get right back on in. But she knows that she needs to play chess. She knows that she's not going to be able to tell the true nature of the past conquests and crusades that she's been going on with Black men. So I'm glad that you said that. And once again, I appreciate your input for saying that. My mind connected to it in the message or the subject matter at hand. Playing chess. It's very well said there. And thank you for that.
Yeah.
Lisa, I'm going to go to Victoria really quickly, Lisa, but we'll come back to you in a second, Lisa. And also, Lisa, thank you for recommending the channel. Lisa, I appreciate that. Victoria, the floor is yours. Victoria, go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we hear you perfectly, Victoria.
Okay. Yeah, there's no playing chess at all. It would require a level of intelligence. The level of intelligence amongst quite a few of Black men in the community is, I don't even want to say the level of intelligence, because there are just choices that are being made by Black men that are blatantly intellectually dishonest, gaslighting when it comes to dating, and the reason why Black women are so afraid to date outside of their race is because we've been told that we're completely undesirable. Yet Black men date outside of their race and those relationships still fail. And yet we're still, and I'm saying we're because I'm a Black woman, we're still responsible for the failures of the community. Like, my thing is, if Black women are such bad dating choices, right? If we're such bad women.
And here's the thing. I stop you here. Listen, this is the thing. As far as the Black women being such bad dating choices, they're not. They're not when they're, and here's the thing. I say this because then I got to bring it back out the picture and the diagram, the specifics. Hold on. I'm going to pause you there, but I'll come back to you in a second. Here's what I saw from this chart and from this graph. When Black women get with the most providing men that America has to offer, when Black women get with the most mentally developed, I say that somewhat loosely, and I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for that, but hey, it is what it is. Men that society has to offer. When Black women get a better chance at a more equal fair play at productive building in America, like this chart says and shows, they are 44% less likely to get divorced compared to the divorce rates amongst what black men deem as the ultimate race of women, aka white women. So when black women are competing in essence with white women side by side, per surveyed, per demographic research, black women do better with white men than the white women do. But black men are never going to acknowledge that. They'll never say that. What I'm speaking right now is blasphemy in their eyes, but the numbers and statistics prove it. So they're going to continue to say, and this is why I do what I do on this channel, because in everything I hear things and I think my mind just takes it to a different train of thought. I think to myself, wait a second, but this doesn't make sense. The reason I think it doesn't make sense is because when I look at the black males as a collective, what they do doesn't make sense. So whenever I see them trying to put this ideological motion into motion, this ideological thought process into motion, I think to myself, well, I can't let you put a thought process into motion when I see the community that you've created, when I see the lack of progression that you represent. I have to check and do some research, because if you have the entire game figured out like you think you do, we as black people wouldn't be in the position that we are now. We as black entrepreneurs wouldn't be at the 2.2% of owning businesses in America that we are standing at now. Black men wouldn't be the least educated group of men or people in America like they are now. So anything that comes out of their mouths, I stop and I say, okay, wait a second. Let's really do some research. Let's really look into this. Because if you're saying something so much, if you believe what you're saying so much, that lets me know that what you're saying more often than not doesn't have any factual relevance. And if it does, like the case of you actually being able to get married more, that still doesn't turn that bad apple into a good one. It still doesn't. At the end of the day, it's an apple, yes. However, it's rotting. At the end of the day, in this, in the concept and the notion and the theme that we're talking about now, yes, congratulations, you were able to marry out more. But you failed at record high numbers in the process. So even in their facts, there's still so much misleading information that needs to be checked. That's why I do what I do, and I've done what I've done. Hey, listen, I see everybody in the background right now. If you're in the background and I don't bring you up, I probably had you on at some point or another before, and so I just want to let a couple of other new people join right now. We have Arsenal God that's waiting in the background. Arsenal God, I'll leave your fate up to the chat. If you want Arsenal God to come onto the panel, press 1. If you want Arsenal God to stay off and for us to continue on our progressive thought train, then press 2. It is up to the chat. Arsenal, your fate is in the chat. Siamese, I see you in the back, Siamese. I'm going to bring you down because we've heard a lot from you, and I just want to keep this chat for newer people who have been on before, Siamese. But I apologize. We'll come back to you soon, Siamese. I love you. I love you, Siamese Cat.
Well,
Take
Jonathan,
Siamese Cat
sorry, could I say one thing?
Yeah, Victoria, go ahead, say one thing really quickly because I got to move on to a couple of the new people.
Well, it's interesting because you were talking about how one thought leads to another, and it's really because of the intellectual dishonesty that a lot of these Black men have. Like, it's almost like complexities to the ignorance. Like, you really actually have to take a break from it sometimes because they're willfully obtuse. Like, you're not talking about reasonable people. So it's a hot mess, honestly.
Absolutely. I appreciate that, Victoria. I'm looking at the numbers. If you want Arsenal God to come up, it looks like we're really 50-50 right now. At this point, I see a lot of ones. I see a lot of twos. It's a tough one. It looks like some of I'm seeing more ones. This is tough, y'all. I think I'm seeing some of y'all are voting twice. You can't, y'all can't vote 2 and 3 times, so that kind of skews the numbers. All right. Well, you know what? We're gonna go ahead. Just give me 1 second. We're gonna go ahead and bring Arsenal up. However, we're gonna severely limit his time. Okay, we're gonna bring Arsenal up. Well, you know what? maybe we won't. Evil is exhausting. Arsenal, you wait for a second. I'm going to decide. Arsenal God. You wait there. Martel, the floor is yours, Martel. Go ahead. Martel, make sure to unmute yourself. Martel going once. All right, we're going to move on from Martel. Lana, the floor is yours. Go ahead, Lana.
Hi, how are you? This is my
Hi,
first
Lana.
time actually participating in your live stream. So I've just been so perplexed. I do not really spend any time in the Black manosphere, but the women like channels like the Pink Pill, that sort of stuff. I see the comments, and it's so perplexing to me how Black men, not all, but a large portion online, just tend to berate the looks of Black women, and they'll say things like other races of women are much more attractive. But I'm so confused because I'm like, but you helped create Black women. Like, it takes a Black man and a Black woman to make a Black baby. So I never extol like the physical, attributes of other races of men. When I speak of other races of men, it's from the standpoint of what they've actually done,
Right.
not that I'm in search of like a lighter skin or someone with, straight hair. To be honest, like that's irrelevant to me. I've dated white men, I've dated different races, and I do not worship them because of their white skin. I've had good relationships, bad relationships, everything in between. But at the end of the day, it's really based on how the man treats you and what his actions are, not what he says he's going to do, but what he actually delivers.
Absolutely.
And, but getting back to my earlier point, it's very perplexing to me to hear so many Black men online, and everyone has their own preferences and they have a right to their preferences. But when it gets to the point that the men in your race, by and large, even if we're not directly speaking about white women or Asian or Latinas, even this insistence that mixed race women are better just because they're mixed. And it's upsetting, not because a Black man has the right to his preference, but what is he really saying? He's saying ultimately that this hybrid of a woman is simply better than you because she had a white mother or a non-Black mother or a non-Black father. And it's kind of like these Black men who buy into that are saying there's a deficit with just being Black. And I'm really scared at this point because I don't want to. I saw a live stream of yours where you spoke about not positioning yourself to just view everyone from like the same vantage point, like because you have an experience with this person, you just assume that everyone else is like that. But so your channel definitely helps, but it's so perplexing to me because I would never want to be with a man who deep down inside felt that he was substandard simply because he was not of another race. And I am not saying that's the belief of all or many Black men, but what I am saying is the Black men who occupy, a lot of these spaces online, that's what they propagate. And that's a very dangerous, um, philosophy to espouse online to young women, just women that are Black women that are, dating, because it's such a turnoff. So I just wanted to bring that, into the equation, that this extolling of people simply because they're not Black, not based on anything special that they are doing, any special characteristics that they have, but you're not Black, so you're better. And I don't believe that. I agree that there are so many issues amongst Black men and Black women. I know your channel really focuses on Black men, and I think that's really good. But there's issues across the board. And as individuals, we can all, seek to improve ourselves, but it has to stop with this belief that there is something wrong with you simply because, a person has two Black parents. No, the deficit is when the person doesn't take the time to educate themselves, they don't take the time to advance, they're not forward thinking, they're not productive. That's where the deficit comes from. And Black men have to understand, more Black men, I should say, have to understand when vetting a woman, yes, you certainly want to look at, the level of attraction. I know men are very different than women, but
and we're kind of diving off, but Lana, I'm gonna stop you there, Lana. Listen, I appreciate you. You said a lot, and I want to just, before I forget, I gotta point out a few things. The reason also, Lana, to answer you directly, and I'm gonna come back to you, Lana, because I love what you're saying. I absolutely love it. She's spot on. The reason why I speak to men specifically, and yes, I'm not saying that Black women are perfect. I get that. However, the men are going to be the ones who end up being the quote unquote leaders of the community. So that's why I speak to the men as much as I do. That's why I talk about men, as much as I do. Right. So that's kind of my train of thought right there. But listen, everything you said, I 1000% agree with. And I really, really, really like where you're coming from. So hold your train of thought, Lana, and we're going to come back to you in a second. I just want to make sure we can get a couple of other people to talk. But thank you, Lana, for that. Concerned, I wanted to get to you really quickly, Concerned. The floor is yours. Go ahead, Concerned.
Hi. So I want to piggyback off of what Lana said. Mm-hmm. I have been reading a book called The Unapologetic Guide to Black Mental Health. Mm-hmm. I'm only at the beginning of it, and it's been really interesting. One of the key points that I took away from it is the importance of identifying positivity with Blackness. So a lot of times when you're in white spaces or just on Earth where Blackness is demonized, you tend to associate all things that are Black or from Blackness with negativity. And so when we think about how callous and careless a lot of Black men are with their own lives and their brothers' lives and their children's lives, there's an inherent disdain for Blackness. And we know that
we'll try and make it a little quick, Concern. I hear you though.
But so basically, the one to kind of finish the thought, a lot of Black men have a propensity to essentially be running away from their problems and just trying to run as fast as possible, kind of living fast, kind of like the visual I'm getting is like a bomb, just kind of like trying to wear out the thing.
So are you saying that they try and run away from Black women essentially because the image of the Black woman is representative or representation of the failures that they as Black leaders have created?
Their Blackness, just Blackness in general, trying to run away from the image of Blackness in general, from themselves, from their seed, from everything. Right. But my standout question is, now what? Because we know that a lot of Black men have this horrible disdain for Black women, but they know that they need us just so inherently deeply need us. If
and Black look, women that's exactly my question as well. What exactly? Because here's the thing, Concern. I'm glad you said it. I'm gonna stop you for a second, and then I'll let you come back. Black men don't understand that they're undoing the very community that they have left to turn back to, because just like Donovan Sharp said in the beginning of the stream, no other race of people look at Black men the way that Black women will. Every other race of people look at Black men as a burden, as a plague, as the victims, as this, as that, because the fact of the matter is that Black men are the last. They're last, right? So, Concern, I'll let you go on to finish up really quickly. Go ahead.
Absolutely. So in order to make the shift from trying to stop, there's this mind shift that needs to happen from trying to be liked and trying to be picked to accepting the people who already accept you. I remember this scene, and I think it's from Remember the Titans, but you're trying to not lose rather than trying to win. And I think that the mindset in trying to date out or trying to run away from your Blackness or trying to kill other people, just not all, but obviously the problematic nature of trying to run away from your blackness and abandon it is to become accepted by something else, to essentially live your life trying to be picked, as opposed to really trying to belong to yourself first, and then find the people who will be able to understand that. And there's just so much more thriving in trying to win rather than trying not to be a loser.
Concerned. I'm gonna stop you. I'm gonna stop you there.
I'm to be losers.
Absolutely, concerned. Listen, you were 1000% on target right that, and that's a great book right there that you're reading. I'll definitely have to be sure to check that out. Concern, that was great. Rebecca L, the $20 super chat says this $, for the Dusty Fingers to start their own channel. Y'all please give to make this happen. # Dusty Fingers. Yeah, definitely. If we get enough donations, I'll definitely start a Dusty Fingers series, and it'll be a playlist on my YouTube channel where you can have access to it. It'll be nothing but me specifically narrating twisted ideological trains of thought that a lot of black men in the black pedosphere have. I'll start that. I'll say I'll have no problem doing that. If y'all like it a lot, I'll start it for sure. You don't have to donate. If y'all do like it enough, I'll start the Dusty Fingers part. Arsenal God. Now, Arsenal God's back, ladies and gentlemen. I decided to bring him back up. Arsenal God said something in the chat, and I just wanted him to explain this really quickly, okay? Now, Arsenal, you know how it goes on this channel. We bring you up, but at the slightest notion that you start to get uncontrollable or just in a different state of mind than we're kind of used to, we're going to have to take you down. But Arsenal God is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. Now, Arsenal, you said something about this, and I want to bring this up to you. Actually, I can't even see it in the private chat anymore, I don't think. Arsenal God, go ahead and unmute yourself. But what were you saying about the lesbians? Were you saying that a lot of the black women are lesbians or something of that nature?
Yes, a lot of black women are producing lesbians. Yes.
All right. So
lesbian daughters. I give them the benefit of the doubt that they can't raise the sons.
Okay, now Arsenal, hold on, Arsenal. Okay, so we're attacking like usual. You like to attack a million different points, but so you think that most black women are lesbians in the black community?
Well, they're producing a lot of lesbians, yes. Statistically.
Okay.
More than any other race.
Okay. Well, you know what? We maybe you're right, Arsenal. I'm not sure. I'd venture to say that you're probably not. I'll have to put you on mute. I hear some echo, Arsenal. But I just wanted you to come on to give that small explanation there. You know what, Arsenal? You stay there for a second. We might come back to you in a bit. We always enjoy Arsenal. Some of us don't really like Arsenal, but you know, we got to get a little bit of the Naker logic in there at some point or another. But Arsenal, you stay there. We'll keep you in mind. All right. Yes, Reese, they are producing lesbians in the lesbian factory inside of the black community. That's Arsenal God. Arsenal God, how old are you? The chat would like to know.
How old am I?
Yes.
I'm 41.
You're 41, Arsenal? I thought you were like 20 something, man.
No.
Oh. Well, there you have it. Arsenal's 41. One of the most polarizing figures on this channel, Arsenal God, ladies and gentlemen. I want to give a huge shout out once again. If you're watching at work, if you're watching in your car, give it a honk, 2 honks for the channel. If you're watching, you might be beside somebody else. We have people watching from all over the world, 365 people watching. Shout out to our moderators in the chat. If we have the Kangs in the building trying to bring down the stream of the quality in the chat, make sure that you ban them, kick them off, make them create another YouTube Gmail username, and come back and then ban them again. If we need a couple more moderators, if you're interested in being a moderator, email me at thehonesttruthyt@gmail.com. Put moderator in the subject line. That's also the email for business inquiries. thehonesttruthyt@gmail.com. If you have a brand or a business you'd like me to promote, we can have numbers that we can talk and get you out there. Depending on the situation, we might not need to talk numbers at all. Just give me a shout and we can talk specifically. Now, I know we have a lot of great ladies on the panel. I just want to go on to say a few more things as we start to not wrap this up, essentially, because we have a lot of people watching, but wrap up the idea and the notion of this interracial dating. All right. I'm not saying that interracial dating is a bad thing. Obviously, I can't vouch for black women needing to date interracially and then say that, oh, black men, you can't date interracially, because they're going to try and say, oh, well, Truth, you're saying that it's okay. Truth, you're saying that. You say, Truth be saying he wants the black women to date, but he don't want black women to date. I'm not saying that you can't date interracially. I'm saying the reason for you dating interracially, and they're two very different reasons. Like Concern said, what I hear most of the time when black men are saying that they're going to date interracially or that they have the ability to date white girls or Asians or whatever it might be, I hear them more acknowledging the fact that they're running away from a situation that they created for themselves. I'm hear them saying that I don't want to provide a solution to create the types of women that I'm running towards. I don't want to provide the community for the types of women that I see running towards. I don't want to provide the type of sustainability, economic progress for the white women that the white man provided for her, or the Asian woman that the Asian man provided for her. Rather than do that, I would rather go chase after the spoils of the white women. I would rather go chase after, and I'm not saying that all white women are the end all be all, because obviously they're not. And they're not by any means in the nature, right? But the idea that they need to run away from their own community to seek a better type of woman, that's it's disturbing at best and completely sadistic and evil at worst. Because what's happening is you have a very large amount of women in our community who are great women, right? Even amidst the hell that they've been brought into, even amidst the hell that they've been raised in. I was listening to Nyla Says, and there was an email that she got from a young woman who said that she was beat up, jumped. She was at school at one point or another, and there was a group of black boys that were trying to sensually touch her and do all this other type of stuff. And she ended up stabbing one of the black boys. She stabbed one of the black boys in school. Police were called. She didn't get into trouble because it was self-defense. And the teachers acknowledged that she was just trying to protect herself, but the teachers didn't step in to try and help her. One day she was walking, this black young girl in the black community, and one of the boys that were in that group pointed her out, Nyla Says. And they called all the homies and they started beating her up, and she fought for her life. And eventually it was an old woman that brought the girl inside of her house, called police, and then made sure that she got home on time. When you hear stories like this of how black women are raised in the black community, it boggles my mind how we still have women that are in good mental health. It boggles my mind how we still have women that are able to be productive society members. It boggles my mind that black women out-educate black men even amidst the hell that they're born into, even amidst the failures of community that they're born into. They still out-educate black men, right? So by black men claiming that they need to run away from the women who quite literally have more doctors than black men that they themselves do, the idea and the notion that I hear black men needed to run away from the more educated counterparts in the relationship dynamic, it boggles my mind, but it doesn't surprise me though. It doesn't surprise me. It doesn't surprise me at all.
True.
Black men gave, just one second, I'll come back to you, Lisa. Black men gave black women absolute crumbs, yet somehow a lot of black women are still able to build a 5-course meal from it. And the off chance that you aren't as a black woman, and the off chance that you are upset, and the off chance that you do feel some type of way because you were born in the worst community in the richest country in the world, then you'll be verbally lashed and cursed by the same men that built the community for you. Mind-numbing logic. 363 people watching, one of the biggest streams that we've done. We're definitely doing a part two to this. We're going to go through for second rounds. We're going going through second rounds. I'm going to take, and I see y'all in the back, ladies and gentlemen, but I'm on a roll right now. Black Commander, try and come up next stream, Black Commander. We'll have you on next stream. I don't really want to put too much negativity in here for now. I'm going to keep on in this train of thought, and I can't do that when we have a bunch of derailment and train conversations and things of that nature. I need to start being more radio host-ish and keeping control for most of the show. Arsenal God's back in the background, but Arsenal, we might not be able to be coming back to you. Lisa, the floor is yours, Lisa, and we're going to try and keep it to a quick comment if you can, Lisa. Go ahead.
Okay. I was just trying to say this earlier so I can get off and let others say it and don't want to make it long.
Sure.
But I wanted everyone to notice this. Put this in your mind. Think about it for a second. I'm just wrapping it up. I don't want to bring more negativity. But I was going to say, if you notice, more of the black men, white women relationship tend to be based off lust, tend to want to be in the white man's position of power. Many times during the feminist movement, there was a document of a white woman saying that these women, they want to date black men because they want to show the white man that they can have the same power that white men had on black men, and so white men can take them serious, and white men can be like, oh shoot, as a women group, they could dominate us because they dominate the people that we dominate too. We should take them serious. But as for black women and white men, it's because we both can see and relate to each other, and it tends to be very, relatable, and it's more loving. While as for white women and men, it's more of a lust and wanting to be in the position of a white man and wanting power to themselves, and that's not love. That's just greed and power hungry, and that's why the divorce is so high. Yeah,
it's very, very, very interesting. Very good point. And to kind of follow up with that, Lisa, the going back to the differences of why black women choose to date out versus why black men choose to date out, kind of going back to this, the reasons are extremely different. When black women choose to date outside of their race, they do so in necessity. They do so because a lot of the times they have to, because the community that they're in don't have the types of men that end up going to do what by and large is the stereotypical norms in other races of society. Go on to build businesses or get a college degree. This is why they out-educate black men. So when black women choose to date out, they're doing so because, like you said, they have more relatability outside of their immediate access or immediate dating pool of black males. However, black men see this as a prize, so to speak. Black women don't go around boasting like, oh man, I got me y'all see this white man? I got me a white man. Black women don't say, oh, I got a white man. Oh, this is awesome. He's just so much better simply because he's white. They don't say that. More often than not, they're just happy that they have a man that fulfills the traditional roles and values that they as a women, that all women want to be able to walk into. Right? They don't just boast and brag and say, oh, I got a white man. Man, everything's great. I got a white man. He's one. Y'all see my white man? Yeah, I got a great white man. They don't say that. They say, oh man, I've got a good man. He's a good man. He treats me well. He treats me right. When and listen, I have in my own family, my cousin, and I don't want to dox her. I almost said her name. If she's watching right now, shout out to you. She's with a white man. They don't go around. She doesn't go around just flaunting pictures of her online or whatever it might be. Sweetest guy. They're still married. They got 4 kids together. But she's able to walk in a different, I don't want to say femininity, but lifestyle than she's been raised in, because she was raised in a very rough part. But when you look at her today, she is just absolute joy. She's a radiant ball of light. She's just happy, right? So once again, going back to why black women do it and why black men do it, black men use it as a trophy, as a status symbol. Oh man, y'all see my white? I got a white girl, man. I only date white girls. I only date white girls. You'll see a lot more black men saying, I only date white girls versus black women saying, I only date white guys, right? Black women, more often than not, if they find a good guy, they don't care what race he is. It just happens to be that a lot of black males in the black community aren't that good of guys. Aside from the fact that they already outpopulate black males, aside from the fact that nearly 40% of niggas are in jail right now, leading them to have to divest. They just want to find a good guy. When 40% of your dudes, of your men in the dating pool are locked up, you're running out of options here. When a lot of guys who make good money in the black community choose to divest themselves and go for other races of women because they want to run away from their own personal afflictions or run away from their blackness because they don't even place value on skin tones that looks like theirs, there's a problem. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. If you're a black woman in a lot of cases, this is why divestment is growing new legs. We have 2 super chats. Black woman sister with the $10 super chat says, THT, I wanted to ask Arsenal, which one is it? Are most black women lesbians, or is it we thoughts and only date Pookies and Ray Rays? The goalpost always moves, but the dusty mindset will always stay the same. Yeah, we'll go ahead and bring Arsenal back up. He's here. We'll ask him that question. Arsenal. Black Women's Sisterhood wants to know, are most of the black women lesbians, or are most of them thoughts because they only date Pookies and Ray Rays? I think you've probably alluded that black women fulfill both roles.
Can I clarify that? I did make 2 statements. I said they're bisexual and they're bisexual or lesbians, yeah? So they fall into 2 categories, yeah? Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of black women are producing lesbians, bisexuals. Yeah.
Okay.
If you do the research, you'll see it.
Okay.
Yeah? You'll do the research. I'll give you some help. Fab Swingers is one of them.
All right.
Yeah?
Well, I'll definitely put that link. Put that link in the chat, because here's the thing about the research, Arsenal. When I do the research, and I actually do find that if you say something is true, most of the time there's underlying reasons. So, for instance, black men said that they date and they marry white women more than black women date and marry white men. And I found that to be a true statistic. However, I also found the true statistic to reveal that black men with white women have a 200% increased chance of divorce in comparison to white women and white men. And that black women... Okay, and that black women with white men have a 44% less likely chance to divorce. And so we're talking about a 244% difference in divorcing if you're a black man with a white woman, and not divorcing if you're a black woman with white men. So yeah, you're in that case, black men were right. They married white women more, but they got divorced twice as much as white women getting with white men. So it's hard to give you credence in some essence, but I tell you what, put the link there. I'll look it up. And if I'm able to debunk it, I'll debunk it, which I'm 99% sure I will in some case or another. However, in the off chance, Arsenal, that I can't provide somewhat reasonable reasoning to every statistic that you give me in the private chat, then I'll go ahead and give you the win, Arsenal. I'll say, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, Arsenal guy was right. I was wrong. And Arsenal got a point. However, I'll just give you a little heads up, Arsenal. Most likely that's not going to be the case. All right, but I'll look it up, and let me see if you put it there right now.
Yeah, right. Can I just add one more thing?
No. It's soon, Arsenal, soon. Put the link in the chat, and then I'll consider bringing you back up. Put the link in the private chat. Alexander Brand says, THG, can I come up? Alexander, I'm just trying to have new people on it right now, Alexander, but maybe next stream, Alexander, for sure, maybe next stream, okay, buddy? I appreciate you, bro. Glitches, it's so good to see you, Glitches. I know you've waited for a long time. What are your thoughts, Glitches, on this entire discussion that we're having as far as interracial relationship? Do you have any personal experience? And if you can, we'll just try and keep it a bit short and concise and clear to the point. Go ahead.
Hi, how you doing? Yeah, this is my first time on here. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah, Glitches, if you can, try and get a bit closer to the mic if you can.
Okay, let me cut it up. I'm sorry, my allergies. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're kind of cutting in and out, Glitches. If you're on Wi-Fi, try and go to your data plan, and then vice versa. But say something again.
Okay, can you hear me now?
No, it's cutting in and out, Glitches. It sounds kind of robotic, like the. It's kind of cutting out. So Glitches, leave and then come back, Glitches, and then we'll see if we can't get you back on. Okay, leave and come back. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to hop onto the panel, the link is in the pinned chat. I want to give a huge shout out to all the contributors. I think we just got a new Cash App. If you're listening to your break, I hope your shift is going well. I hope this is bringing some sort of enlightenment or positivity to your evening. If it's bringing negativity, then I understand that can sometimes be the true nature of our channel. However, it is my hope and desire that this brings positivity and hope to you to know that there are people out there that understand exactly what you're feeling and what you're going through right now. There are some of us that understand, and the rest of the world will soon understand. We're approaching 3,500 subscribers. The next milestone is 5,000. After that, we're going to be at 10,000. After that, I'm setting it at 25,000 and then 50,000. And at this point, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that we can reach it. I believe, and I was speaking with one of our dear, close community members, one of the most loyal ones that I think we have here, even though everybody here is extremely loyal, so I can't even say that. Forgive me for saying that. I know that we'll be able to reach 50,000. I know that I'll be able to reach, and we'll be able to reach 100,000, because what we're saying and what we're doing now is already changing so many people's lives. Like we just heard on the panel, we have people that are telling other people about the stream. We have people that are having these conversations outside of YouTube. We have the Discord, which let me get the Discord link really quickly. If you want to join and keep up with the conversation as we have it offline, just to give you a heads up, we're not really that active in the Discord. So it's not like we're talking all the time. You're not going to get notifications that much. And I'm not even on Discord that much, if I'm being completely honest with you, but I hop on once every couple of days or so. If you want to kind of stay in touch with the channel, with the channel members that we have here, the Discord link is in the live chat. Okay. Discord links in the live chat. A $10 super chat from Loren. $10 super chat from Loren. Concerned, I see. I know you want to speak and say something in 1 second. We'll come to you in a little bit. Concerned. $10 super chat from Loren. She says, Black women are finally opening their options and I couldn't be happier. It means a lot, THT, that Black men like you get it and see what Black women have put up with for years. Absolutely. Loren, CEO of UniqueBoutiqueCandles.com with a $10 super chat support there. Thank you so much, Loren. Thank you so much. Just me and Destiny have joined the chat. Ladies, I'm going to ask that we kind of keep it a little bit shorter if possible, just to kind of keep things kind of on board and flowing a little bit faster. I have to change some things up on the panel. But Destiny, the floor is yours, Destiny. I appreciate you being here. Go ahead. Put my sunglasses on. Destiny, make sure to unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Destiny.
Can you hear
You
me?
sound a little bit choppy. Go ahead.
I don't know if I'm speaking clearly right now.
I'm sorry.
Am I speaking
Okay, Destiny.
clearly?
Yeah, you're speaking clearly, Destiny. Go ahead.
Okay, I just want to thank you. I'm so grateful that I have found your channel because I just remember being as young as 15 years old and I had low self-esteem. So I just want to look at some positivity videos of Black women. So I searched Black women in YouTube and it was just a whole bunch of bashing. So I thought, I internalized it. I thought it was true because I was like, I only love Black men. It's like if your own men don't love you, then there's something wrong with you. So, you know, but
Right.
I've always been, I'm talking about like abuse, like real bad abuse. But I've never been like, oh, I'm never gonna date.
Okay, she's having connection issues. I think I understand what you're pretty much saying there, Destiny. And listen, I'm glad that you found us and found the channel. And she brings up an interesting point. If you do just go on YouTube and you type in Black women, actually, let me go ahead and do this. Let's just do it for ourselves. Let's go to YouTube and type in Black women and see what pops up. See what pops up first. Well, I guess in my opinion, it's going to be a little bit skewed for me because obviously my analytics is made up of a certain demographic. But if I just go on YouTube and type in Black women, this is what pops up right here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so hold on. Black women, search it. The first thing pops up is, what do Black men care about? Do they care about Black women? Tarot reading. Why do Black women resist competition? I don't know. It's things that question Black women. And here's the thing. I'm pretty sure that if you type this in, more often than not, you're going to get more negative, if I'd have to estimate, videos talking about Black women, then you'll get positive. You're not going to see a bunch of uplifting because right now, what's making the most video money, what's making the most traction is views. And if you're getting a lot of views on YouTube, YouTube's going to promote those in the searches and the analytics. So I'd understand how Destiny and what Destiny said, that you typing in Black women or whatever it might be, popping up with more negatives than positives, right? So I think she has a great point there. We're going to go ahead and go on to Just Me really quickly. Just Me, the floor is yours. We'll try and keep it clear and concise. Just Me. Go ahead.
Hey. Can you
Hey.
hear me?
Yeah, I hear you perfectly.
Okay. Let's see. Well, okay. I guess I'll just say a little bit about like interracial dating.
Okay.
Well, I feel like this as someone who has dated out. I've dated white men. I have been in relationships with Asian men as well.
Right.
I think it's best, like, instead of looking at a guy, which one girl did mention, because I have noticed this on Black YouTube, where everyone tries to do this thing where it's like, I want to date out and he just has to be white. This is where I see a lot of people actually fail because they kind of get stuck on the whole white thing and they don't look at the personality. They don't
Well, and just Me, this is the thing, and you brought up an interesting point, and I kind of understand where you're going. It is about personality and everything like that. I get that. Here's the point of contention I have. It's not just, and I'm glad you said this because my mind immediately went somewhere, is that it's not just white. When we say dating out, Asian, Hispanic as well. Don't just limit it to white men, ladies and gentlemen, right? Now, we've already kind of covered that. Just Me, yes, we've already kind of given the reasoning in that, yes, not all white men are good. What we're saying, though, is that by and large, the stereotypical communities and the foundations of ideological beliefs that white men have, as far as the institutions of marriage and as far as being the provider of the family and things of that nature, you'll see this a lot more commonly in white men than you do with other races of men, especially, than you do with black men, right? So this is why they say white men, but I'm glad you said that, because that pinged in my mind once again that, yeah, don't just limit it to white men. Asians and Hispanics as well are definitely, and Pacific Islanders as well, whatever it might be, are definitely groups of men, particularly Latino men, who believe in the family and the concept of family. Latinos are all about family. Just about every other race of men in America believes far more in family than black communities do. That's just a fact. Okay, that's just a fact. So sorry to cut you off there, just me, but I don't want to get the message misconstrued here. I got to keep it on track, but I appreciate your input. Thank you. $5 super chat from Royalty85 says, I appreciate your channel. Thank you so much for that donation, Royalty85. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Just me, just 1 second. We'll come back to you in a little bit, just me. I see some more people joining. Destiny, I see you're trying to join. We're going to end up wrapping this up here in a little bit. But ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, then by all means, you can type them in the super chat, or you can ask them. It's a bit harder sometimes to see because there are a lot of comments now. I think last time when I checked the analytics, there was last time I checked the analytics, there was like 7,000 something odd comments that were in the last live stream, something ridiculous like that. And then one of the live streams had like 15,000 comments. So I can't see all the comments a lot of the time, but if you want to email me, then you could definitely email me and I'll try and get to your comment or concern, and we can do it that way. Kenyatta XL with the $5 super chat comes to hate once again. Says, why is this low budget pandering Derek Jackson want to be wearing sunglasses in the house? Bro, you are pathetic beyond belief. The reason I'm wearing sunglasses, you ignorant Negroid, is because the light that I have sitting directly to my right is extremely bright. It is a studio quality light, but I wouldn't expect someone who is sitting taking pictures of himself with a glare coming from the ceiling fan and a TV behind them that's probably watching a bootleg movie to understand the way that lighting works as far as studio performances goes. I wouldn't expect you to even understand how much that a light cost that I bought to begin with. So I understand you're ignorant, but thank you for once again exposing your ignorance for the rest of the world to see at the expense of $5. If you have any other ignorant statements to make, Kenyatta, then please donate another $5, $10 if you really want to keep exposing yourself. That'd make it even better. Keep on donating to expose your ignorance, but thank you for the comment and the concern there. Negroids are going to Negroid. Pure foolishness, pure ignorance, thinking they understand. It's called a box light. If you want to Google it, if you don't know how to type box, if you don't know how to spell box, Kenyatta, it's BOX. Box light. Google that, and then you will get an idea of why I'm wearing sunglasses right now, where after 2 hours of me being glared on by this light, I decided to put on sunglasses, you ignorant Negroid. Kenyatta looks like he's lost standing in front of his picture. Where are you, Kenyatta? Are you in a hotel or is that your place? What made you want to take a picture right there? I'm genuinely curious. You could have taken a picture on a sunset. You could have taken a picture on a hill doing something. You made your AVI, you standing in front of a TV with a glare from the light coming down from above you. And you have the nerve. I tell you what, boy. I tell you what. Negroids are gonna Negroid if it's the last thing that they do. I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen. Now we're gonna start. Okay, back. So that's his house with the hole in the ceiling. We're gonna start wrapping this up here in a little bit, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, he's talking about low budget. He's talking about low budget. You can't even see the pixels in his AVI picture. Talking about low budget. You can't make this up. Kenyatta, I really do enjoy your comments. I know I'm roasting you right now, but I really am glad that you still comment. I really am glad. Basically says small TV too for a black man. Yeah, I thought black men love to have their 60-inch TVs to watch the Atlanta Falcons play, watch their Dallas Cowboys play. Kenyatta got to stand 2 feet away to watch his TV. And you know what? I'm capping because I got a small TV, but I don't watch TV, so it's not important to me. But hey, even if you have a small TV and you love TV, listen, I hope that you get a bigger TV. I'm just roasting Kenyatta specifically. If you have a small TV, then listen, I have a small TV too. All right. He just decided to put his TV into the picture. I see everybody in the background right now. I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping it up, to be honest with you. We're going to start wrapping this up. So if you're in the background, I appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and start taking people down from the stream, but thank you so much for joining the live stream, the live panel. I'm starting to realize that I need to definitely Concerned. I know you wanted to say one other thing and you waited for a long time. Go ahead, Concerned.
Thanks. Okay, so basically, and I'll be quick. Even when you think about interracial dating,
I just want to say something. Y'all can see the box light in my lens right here.
Yes,
it's actually right there. And so
he's crazy.
The Negroids are gonna say, "Oh, he's talking about he got a light." It's literally right there. Go ahead, Concern.
Even within the people that we idolize as a community, the rappers or whatever, there is a direct correlation between the guys who date out and their failure and the guys who marry and become successful with Black women. Like the biggest names and the people who become legends are always married and always marry kind of early. And always marry Black women.
You want to know something? Listen, you're so right. Guess who I think of immediately? Samuel L. Jackson, Denzel Washington, LeBron James, J. Cole. The ones who society respects the most are all with Black women.
And they all got married. One of the things that really makes me sad about all of this is that they say they date white women, great, but they're not marrying anyone. And so when we think about wealth and we think about security and we think about longevity in a person's career, these men think that they're winning by being able to date and date around and see how many, vaginas they can collect. But the people whose life are actually admirable and would give them the amount of self-actualization are actually the people who settle down with one person and focus on other things besides trying to collect vagina. And when we think about a great example is when we think about the integrity of a person and we think about the longevity of their career, Kanye is one of the most talented people on earth. And I know most Black men would not want to work with him just because of the integrity gaps that he has. He married Kim, but we know that in reality, even when they marry them, we don't respect them because of the integrity gaps that it leads to. Additionally, even when we think about the people who are, again, brilliant. Kanye is undeniably like an X-Man when it comes to music. In reality, still, most people wouldn't want to fuss with him or with Future or any of them in terms of working with them, no matter how talented they are, because in reality, we know that you want to work with people with integrity and those men don't have it. So we idolize those men, but most people know they'd actually rather work with Russell than Future.
Absolutely. Concern, you brought up such a big point. The most well-respected, high-earning, society embracing Black men that I think of, the names that come immediately to my mind, the most mainstream men, are all with Black women. They're all married to Black women. Every single last name that pops up in my head, even the Obamas that I think IK commented, had a Black woman beside them. I'm so glad you said that. And I'm so glad we were able to get that comment from you, Concern. Listen, you brought up some serious points. Make sure you come on to the next live panel. Okay, Concern?
Absolutely will do. Love your show. Thank you,
Concern. Whoo! Facts are facts, ladies and gentlemen. Facts are facts. Facts are facts. Listen, this live stream has been very interesting to research. It's been very revealing. I see everybody is in the background right now. We're going to wrap it up. So if you didn't get on this time, there's going to be a part 2 to the interracial dating because I didn't get to cover everything that I wanted to cover. There's still so much that I have to say in regards to this. I'm still waiting for that private link chat from Arsenal God. Oh, he sent me some. Okay, Arsenal God sent me some links. Arsenal God, I have your links and I've copied them down, my friend. I have your links and I've copied them down. I'm going to check them out, Arsenal God. On part 2, you come back up here, my friend, and we'll definitely try and get your points of contention brought forward. But once again, I want to thank you for taking the time to listen to us. This was a lit live stream. Shay Hart says, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Hit the like button on your way out. Tony Morrison said, if you're able to get a channel membership, then you can have a channel membership and it'll access videos that everybody else can't access. They start at, I think, $3.99 or $2.99 for the lowest membership. I'll be uploading a lot more videos soon. I just recorded a good amount, just editing them. So give me some time. These videos take time, ladies and gentlemen. This channel takes time. It's just, I know I keep saying that videos are going to be up and they're not up, so just bear with me, y'all. But I'm glad that y'all are riding with me, and I know that I have y'all support. To everybody that donated, thank you so much for all donations. A huge shout out once again to Kier1010 and Tony Morrison for their continued support. If you would like to donate to the show, I'll put the links up to donate to the Cash App once again. If you're listening on audio, it's cashapp.com/$ Truth Seekers, TruthSeekers, PayPal.me/The Honest Truth. We're going to be back in a couple of days, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be back in a couple of days to continue the saga, part 2 of interracial dating. More stats, more statistics, more truth that is irrefutable. Thank you for It's Just Me Podcast once again for sharing this video. I'm going to put the It's Just Me Podcast channel into the description below. Make sure that you check her out. She goes live every once in a while. She is powerful. All right. I'm just reading over some comments, making sure I didn't miss anybody here. That's going to do it for intermission, ladies and gentlemen. Back to your regularly scheduled programs. As you go throughout the rest of the day, this weekend, I want you to enjoy yourselves. Take some time off. Kick your feet up. Enjoy the people that enjoy you. Know that eventually the time is coming when our message gets just as loud as our haters. Can't be stopped. I firmly believe that. And thanks to you guys, thanks to y'all who support in the analytics, who stay from the beginning to the end of the stream, we're going to get there. Thanks to you listening on your break right now. Thanks to you listening at your job right now. Thanks to you listening in bed, watching us right now, commenting consistently. Thanks to Beijik for staying up on her vacation at 3 o'clock in the morning to moderate while she was in the UK. Thanks to our moderators. Thanks to everybody that emails me the stories. I get those emails and I'm doing stories and videos on them. Thanks to everybody that helps me do what I do and helps us to do what we do on this community. Our message is growing. Our peak was 360 something or 370 something, possibly almost 400 subscribers. I'm sorry, live watchers. We started off with 2 watching at a time. It's just a matter of time. Just a matter of time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to wrap it up for intermission. I am Truth. I love you. Love yourself. Take it easy. Take a break from the manosphere. Take a break from YouTube. Create another YouTube channel if you need to. If this begins to become too much to you, this is going to do it for this season or this session, this season of intermission. This is going to do it for this session, this live stream. But we'll be back in a couple of days. Until then, keep your head up. Keep your wits about you. Protect yourself. And remember, you live one time. So take care of that and take that seriously. All right? Good night, everybody.
you.